two brothers. One became the most feared killer in the Seven Kingdoms. The other spent his whole life trying not to become him, and burned half his face, proving it wasn't a fair fight. This is the real story of Sandor and Gregor Clegane, straight from the books, no show shortcuts. The Cleganes aren't lords. They're landed knights, sworn to Casterly Rock, which in Westeros basically means muscle for hire. But out of that small, unremarkable house came two of the most talked about fighters in the entire saga. And their relationship is built on one buried, brutal act of violence that neither of them ever gets to fully explain. Here's what we actually know, and it's second-hand. Sandor himself tells this story to Sansa, not as fact reported by a narrator, but as his own account. As a boy, Sandor picked up one of Gregor's toys. Gregor's response was to grab him by the back of the head and shove his face into a burning brazier, holding him down until the skin melted off half his face. The family covered it up. Officially, the story was that bedding caught fire. That's the whole foundation of who Sandor becomes. A boy, no one protected, disfigured by his own brother, and lied about ever since. It's also worth flagging. We never get Gregor's side or anyone else's confirmation. It's Sandor's memory, and the books never contradict it. But it's important to be precise about where this comes from. While Sandor becomes a hardened but still recognizably human fighter, Gregor becomes something else entirely. He's the knight who, during Robert's rebellion, is widely believed to have killed Princess Elia Martell and her children on Tywin Lannister's orders, smashing the infant Aegon's head against a wall and assaulting Elia before killing her. Again, this isn't shown on page, it's reported and believed across Westeros, and Oberyn Martell spends the entire third book obsessed with confirming it. Later, during the War of the Five Kings, Tywin sends Gregor and his men to terrorize the Riverlands, burning villages and committing atrocities that other characters describe in horror, including against small folk at places like the Mummer's Ford. He kills Ned Stark's man-at-arms in a tournament by accident. He kills Loras Tyrell's squire in the the Riverlands melee, over a horse spooking. Every act builds the same picture. A man with no restraint and total impunity because Tywin Lannister finds him useful. Sandor ends up as Joffrey's sworn shield, and he's good at violence too. He kills Ned Stark's men-at-arms in the streets, threatens to cut Sansa's own face for smiling wrong, and he's not soft. But the books keep drawing a line. He refuses to become a knight, telling Sansa that knighthood is a lie, built on men just as brutal as him wearing prettier words. He shows Sansa small, real mercies no one asked him to. And during the Battle of the Blackwater, wildfire and violence break him. He deserts the Kingsguard mid-battle, drunk and shaking, done serving Joffrey. Then comes the road with Arya Stark, captured, dragged across the Riverlands, trying to ransom her and slowly becoming something like her protector, whether either of them wants to admit it. Their fight at the end of Storm of Swords against Brienne of Tarth leaves him gravely wounded, and Arya leaves him to die rather than deliver the mercy kill he begs for. Here's where the books get deliberately murky. In A Feast for Crows, Brienne meets a monk called the Elder Brother on the Quiet Isle, who tells her Sandor Clegane died of his wounds and is buried there. But she also meets a massive, silent gravedigger who never speaks, and fans have debated for years whether this is Sandor in hiding. Martin has never confirmed this on the page. It's a theory, not a fact, and I want to be upfront that this is fan speculation, not resolved canon. Gregor's ending is more concrete, if just as unsettling. In the Vale, in King's Landing, he fights Oberyn Martell in trial by combat over Tyrion's guilt. Oberyn nearly kills him, but gloats too long, demanding a confession about Ilya, and Gregor kills him, but not before Oberyn's poisoned spear wounds Gregor fatally. Qyburn then treats him, and Gregor reappears as Robert Strong, a silent, masked giant serving as Cersei's champion, widely implied by other characters to be Gregor's corpse, reanimated through Qyburn's experiments, though the text is careful never to say the word dead outright. So here's the actual shape of their story. Gregor never fights the monster in him. He becomes the monster, and even dying doesn't stop him from being weaponized as one. Sandor spends every page fighting the exact same violence in himself, losing plenty of times, but never fully becoming his brother. That's the whole point of the Hound as a character, not a good man, but a man who knows exactly what he could become, because he watched it happen across the dinner table. Is the gravedigger really Sandor Clegane? I've got thoughts. Drop yours in the comments. And if you want the full breakdown of Gregor and Oberyn's trial by combat, that's next.